Good morning. My name's Rodney Glover. I'm the candidate for governor of Florida, and I'm non-party affiliated. But let's just talk about what's happening right now. I mean, yeah, there's a lot about the whole Venezuela thing, right? But the problem is this: is the president stated that he could not tell Congress because they had leakers. What this tells you is we have a fragmented government, right? So maybe some people are, trying to play devil's advocate. Hey, it was an operation, and because the president knows, hey, the problem is we've never, as a society, had to worry about if we thought or started to think that we have a fragmented government, that there is a government inside our government that can do these things and not need to tell. Now, all of us vote to send these representatives up. State of Florida, I told you, we send 28 state representatives total to represent us at the federal level, at the state level up there in DC. 28 total that are not notified. So we have a part of government that's stronger than the people who you elect. Now, my entire campaign is strictly to give more legal constitutional authority to citizens because there is no control for citizens. It doesn't matter if people are saying, and we don't even know if they're real. Let's just get that out the way. We don't even know if the comments that are being had are real. There's all types of weird stuff that gets like 15,000 hits. And you're like, why? It only said, I agree and they needed it. Like those words. I agree and they needed it. And it gets like 15.6K when we know that recently every website is controlled by the same people. Some people that are putting out really good information always have to say, hey, can you make sure you share my information? Because I don't think it's getting to the people that it needs to get to. When you start to, when now you can make decisions without having to tell the body that the citizens voted for. Like these people come out and tell you that they represent you, even though I've shown you multiple times that the Constitution doesn't say that, right? That the rules don't say that because in order to represent me, this means that I can do something to make sure that you're doing your job. It's kind of like when sports people get agents, right? If you're representing me and I don't think you're doing a good job, I can fire you. There's no access to do that with these political representatives. So that's why I'm really here to just really say that, hey, are you really looking at the overall? And I'm always hoping I run into new people or someone shares me with someone new so that I can keep touching people just to put it out there. In the state of Florida, 100.361, this is the statute that you should look up. 100.361 is our recall authority. So when we go and we say, we're putting you in this position to represent us, but then you have someone in there that says, hey, I can work outside of every other person. And I don't have to even talk to the people that you put here. Now we take that to your tax money. You're still paying me for some faction because it's fragmented now. It's fragmented. That's a fact because the president, this is state level talk, the president stated, didn't tell Congress because they leak. No, then you create a rule to mitigate that. You create a rule that says, hey, but they already have them. Let's just be clear. I don't need to say we need to create no rules. They already have them. That's why we have classification levels. That's why they'll say, hey, we're going to go get a classified briefing. These things are real. Citizens, I'm trying to put things in place so that on paper it says you Control the person you elect. Control by means of them knowing that if they are not representing your best interests, that you have an avenue created, because it's not there right now, that we create an avenue to say that we've lost confidence in you. Now, without that being created, you can do whatever you want to do. That's where we are today at the state level and the state level, the federal level. Florida, the governor just mentioned to you yesterday, I don't know if you guys knew this, that we're going to create a couple of more of these facilities, kind of like Alligator Alcatraz, except for I guess he stated that these would be a lot easier. It was a lot less work that needed to be done. Again, no one asked citizens. No one's asking. President just said, he used this term. We had zero illegal border crossings. Well, okay. If you had zero illegal border crossings, how many people are still here? Why are we still spending taxpayer money? Why are we still supporting an effort that should be dwindling down? Why are we ramping up if it should be dwindling down? Because you said zero border crossings. That's what you said. That was the goal. So why is the governor on Fox yesterday? It was a Fox little thing on TikTok yesterday that I saw him, giving a press conference saying, "Yeah, we're gonna be building more of these." Well, hold on. Let's just ask the citizens. Hey, what are our numbers looking like? Are y'all still picking up so many people that we don't have the facility? Hey, man, let's get the details, because that's why you're there, to give out the details. I know this is a long video, but it's important. I'm running for governor. Put the rules in place so that when you don't feel like you're getting the details, but I'm taking your resources. I'm taking your resources. All of the working people, all the working class citizens, your resources are being taken, but you have no access to say no. It's illegal. So look, it's against federal law to not pay your taxes. It's just against federal law. Good luck trying to figure out how to do that. How do you go to your job who gives you your direct deposit and say, "Hey, I'm not paying any more taxes ever again"? You're gonna probably get a letter. That letter is gonna probably say, "Hey, you owe this amount of money in taxes. If you choose not to pay that, there's a federal law that's gonna put you in prison." There you have it. So maybe you get it on the front end. Maybe you do have a job. Maybe you do have a code where you can get it. You get it on the front end. Guys, we got to change the rules. And we got to get the average citizen, the citizen who doesn't have any goal to want to be in these political positions. We have to still get you the accessibility to hold us accountable. It's just important. That's just where we are today. So, that's just how I look at things. That's how I'm taking in this information. And it's dangerous on the world stage now when we have a fragmented government. And make no mistake, when the president stated he did not tell the people who you elect to represent you to make these, to minimum be in the know. It says that there is a faction in our government that has the power to have always been able to bypass. And it goes to show that, hey, we did not have the proper mitigation factors in place for checks and balances. I don't see how anybody can see that different. But I know there will be different perspectives. I just know it will be. And there will be a completely opposite. No. And it doesn't matter that a person is able to. We thought there were checks and balances that stopped the fragmentation from ever being a thing. We just found out that's not the case.